but yet God thinks about man because man is the only creature that has the image or likeness of God and was made to resemble God and has the ability to commune with God. Understand, believers, in comparison to the angels, man is the most complex of all creatures. He is susceptible to sickness, death, bondage, labor, and so much more. Because man can think, because we can reason, because we can decide, man is always in a constant battle of opposing forces pulling him in a different direction. Just give man some time and man will change on you. Give man an inch and he will fall out and act a fool at the same time. I've seen man go from anger to acts of goodness in a minute. I've seen man go from energetic inspiration to pathetic desperation in a second. I've seen man travel from saneness to craziness in a moment. I've seen man shout in the church and cuss you out in the parking lot in the same hour. It is no wonder that man is the only creature that God created that seeks therapy and must repent. Have you thought about it? Animals don't seek therapy. Animals don't have to repent. The moon and the sun don't have to repent. But God must have known that man will flip out on you when you least expect it. And yet the majestic God, the King of Kings, the Prince of Peace, is mindful of him. The certainty communicated in this Psalms is that the Lord is aware of his children. God is mindful of us. He is so mindful of us. He is so co-eternal with himself. Not because of anything in us, but for his own name's sake, for his own reputation. Understand, mindful is a covenant word. It comes from the Hebrew word sakar, which means to mark or remember continually, to keep in merciful view. God, in his incomprehensible kindness, reveals to us that he has you and I on his mind. God takes knowledge of man. He is mindful of everything you're going through. He is alert to your needs right now. He is aware of your plight. You are so important to God that he knows the number of hairs in your head and the number of tracks in your weave. God is mindful of us. You may be feeling insignificant tonight, but you are top priority to God. Your name may not have made the program. You might not got a front row seat, but you are still on God's VIP list. I don't care what it looks like. God has not forgotten you. God has not forsaken you. God has not abandoned you. God has not overlooked you. People may have let you down, but you can say God has been faithful. How do you know it? He remembered you in your lowest state. God was there in your darkest hour. He was there in your weakest moment. The time when you felt helpless and hopeless. The time when you felt desperate and dysfunctional. God was right there. You know he was there because he held you together when life was falling apart. He helped you stand up when circumstances tried to knock you back down. He even used what tried to bring you down to build you back up again. I come to tell you, God was thinking about you because you was on God's mind. He promptly promoted you when others disqualified you. Because God was mindful, he brought you through trials and tribulations, foreclosure and failure, recession and ruin. Because God had you on his mind, he brought you through conflict and crisis. It was not your intelligence that got you thus far. It was not your networking. It was not your little business card. It was not your position that has got you thus far. It was nobody but God. That's why if you would have the mic tonight, you could testify that you wouldn't be who you are. You wouldn't have what you have. You couldn't do what you do. You wouldn't know what you know